Welcome to TalkEdge, your daily dose of real English for real life. Here, we don't just learn English, we live it through natural conversations, practical topics, and everyday situations. So grab your headphones, relax, and let's talk English the TalkEdge way.
Morning hello everyone. My name is Peter. I wake up when the alarm rings at 6 a.m. I'm not usually an early riser, so I often hit the snooze button to sleep for a few more minutes. After a short while, I sit up, stretch, and put my feet on the floor. It's time to start a new day. I make my bed. This is a habit that helps me feel organized. Then I go to the bathroom, wash my face, and brush my teeth. I usually take a shower in the morning to help my body feel refreshed and comfortable after a long sleep. I highly recommend morning showers, and if possible, shower with cold water because it will make you feel more awake. If cold water isn't an option, hot water works too. After my shower, I dress simply in a light blue shirt and black pants. Not fancy, just neat and tidy enough. Around 7:30 a.m., I head to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. On weekdays, I keep it simple. Like every day, I toast 2 slices of bread, fry some eggs, and add a bit of meat. The smell of the fried eggs with some bacon makes me even hungrier. While eating, I look out the window. The sky is clear and the sun is gentle. It looks like a beautiful day, and I like the sky today. After finishing breakfast, I usually cut some fruit to make sure I get enough nutrients. Today, I cut an apple for dessert, and like every day, I pour myself a cup of hot coffee from the coffee maker. I can't start my day without it if I want to be full of energy. While sipping my coffee, I check my phone for important messages or emails. There are a few emails from my business, and a message from my family, and some invites to eat from friends. After checking everything and finding no more urgent messages, I start looking at the news for today. Since my business requires flexibility, staying updated on the news is a must. After I've done all this, I start preparing for work. Around 8 a.m., I grab my bag and leave the house. I lock the door carefully and head outside. The morning air is cool and a bit chilly, so I take a light jacket with me. This is the kind of weather I like most. I walk to the bus stop, which is a few minutes away. At the bus stop, a few other people are waiting, just like me. It's no surprise. The bus is expected to arrive at 8:10. I check my watch. It's right on time. A little later, the bus arrives. I get on, greet the driver, and choose a seat by the window. I put on my headphones and start a podcast to catch up on financial analysis from experts. Part of it is to learn more, and the other part is to stay updated with the latest news. The bus ride takes about 20 minutes. I look at the streets through the window, children walking to school with their backpacks, shops opening. The city is waking up. While listening to the podcast, I learn some new financial knowledge and catch up on current events. I didn't realize how much the situation has escalated. It's not just small businesses like mine that are affected. Even big companies are struggling. Soon, I arrive at the station near my company's office in the city center. I get off the bus around 8:30 a.m. and walk a bit to the building where I work. I enter the lobby and greet the familiar security guard. He smiles and wishes me a good day. I take the elevator to the 5th floor where my office is. A few colleagues are already there. I sit at my desk, turn on my computer, and start working. I begin by checking my emails. There are a few new emails, one from my boss, a few from clients. Now, you might be wondering, if I have my own business, why do I work for someone else? Well, only those who've started a business can understand. I have to take on another job to keep my small business running, and I spend a lot of time in the afternoons and evenings preparing work for my staff. That's the reason. After checking my emails, I quickly reply to the urgent ones, adjust today's meeting schedule, and send the files I completed yesterday. Then I head to the kitchen to get some water. I always try to drink at least 2 liters of water each day for good health. I bump into a colleague who's getting coffee, and we chat for a bit before returning to our own work. Back at my desk, I put on some soft music and continue with the morning tasks because I still need to manage my small business in the afternoon. Time flies when I focus. Around 11 a.m., I have a short team meeting and assign tasks to my team members. After the tasks are divided, I give the team time to share their progress on their projects. Luckily, everyone has been working very seriously, so we finish quickly. Next, it's my turn to give my report. Everyone is satisfied with my team's progress, so the meeting wraps up quickly. After the meeting, it's time for lunch, so my whole office goes to the break room to grab something to drink and wait for a few colleagues before heading out for lunch together. When we say going out to eat, I don't like to hang around too much because I don't want to waste time. I know I still have a lot of work to do, so I'm always the one who eats and returns to the office the earliest to continue working. Starting a business is tough, but it's my dream, so I have to keep pushing. Afternoon, around 11:30 a.m., my stomach growls. It's time to eat. Normally, I bring lunch from home, but today my colleagues invited me to lunch at a nearby restaurant. I agree, it's nice to have a change. I order a chicken sandwich with salad, while a few others get soup or pasta. We sit by the window and chat a bit about work, also discussing our weekend plans, like watching a movie. After lunch, I try to head back to the office early to check on the progress of my business and see if there are any unresolved issues because I can't handle them during work hours. Fortunately, there haven't been many changes lately, so everything is fine. Once I finish checking on things, it's around 12:55, and my colleagues return from lunch. We get ready to work on the afternoon shift. Around 1 p.m., I start working again. There's so much to solve, so I tackle each task slowly. First, I finish the report I was working on. It takes about an hour to review and add some details. By around 2:30 p.m., I send the report to my boss. Then, I plan the next steps for my department. A new project is starting, and let me tell you, starting a new plan feels like a real battle. I have to learn everything to assign tasks to my colleagues. After struggling with the new project, I feel a little more settled, but it's still chaotic. This is really the part I dislike the most about starting a new project. Around 3:15 p.m., I get up, stretch to ease my headache, and walk around the office to check how my colleagues are doing and if they need help. After walking around, I see that everyone is doing well, so I return to my desk and continue working. Before I focus again, I glance out the window. The afternoon sun is shining, and people are bustling in the streets. At 3:30 p.m., an intern named Nina asks me some questions, so I spend 20 minutes showing her how to do things. Looking at her, I'm reminded of myself at that age, around 18 to 20, awkward, not knowing much, but full of enthusiasm and energy. Honestly, I enjoy helping people at that age because it feels like I'm helping my younger self. There's a sad memory, though. At that time, I didn't have much help and had to struggle with everything. So now, when I see young people in that stage, I feel for them and try to help whenever I can. There's one time an intern wanted to stay with the company, but she couldn't meet the high demands and pressure, so she was let go. It was a bit sad, but I made the best decision of my life by bringing her into my startup project. Now, she's one of my most helpful team members, my right-hand person. That's when I realized that the saying, "what goes around comes around," is true. Anyway, back to the present. Around 4 p.m., I take some time to handle smaller tasks like replying to emails, organizing files, and noting plans for tomorrow. Looking at my schedule, I'm relieved there are no urgent meetings. So, I turn off my computer, tidy up my desk, and check my bag. Everything's done by 5 p.m. I say goodbye to my colleagues, take the elevator down, and leave the building. The soft afternoon sun shines over the streets. I walk to the bus stop. The bus arrives right on time. I get on, sit back, and relax a little after a long day of work. This is probably the only moment I get to relax, but the work isn't finished. It's just a break. I encourage myself to keep going. On the way home, I watch the city during rush hour. Car lights, pedestrians, everyone is in a hurry. Thinking back on the day, I feel quite satisfied with everything. I realize I forgot to send an email, but it's okay. It can wait until tomorrow. Around 5:45 p.m., I reach my neighborhood. I get off a stop early to visit the supermarket. I buy a few things: milk, salad, vegetables, and chicken. The supermarket isn't too crowded. I pay and the cashier bags my items. I walk home under the sunset sky with a beautiful orange-pink color. I get to my room, open the door, and finally, I'm home after a tiring day. Evening around 6:15 p.m., I start preparing dinner. Before that, I shower and change into something comfortable, like a t-shirt and sweatpants. I wash my hands and take out the ingredients: chicken breast, vegetables, and spices. I season the chicken, pan fry it, and prepare the salad. The aroma fills the kitchen. Light music plays in the background, creating a relaxing atmosphere. By 6:45 p.m., I plate the food: golden chicken and fresh salad. I sit at the dining table, turn on the TV, and watch some light comedy. Eating and laughing a bit, I feel quite relaxed after a long day. After dinner, I wash the dishes and clean the kitchen. Around 7:30 p.m., I call my family to check on my parents' health and how everything at home is going. Luckily, everything is fine. They ask why I didn't answer the phone yesterday, so I explain that I was so tired after work that I fell asleep and didn't hear the phone. I checked my phone this morning and saw the missed call from them, so I called back. Then we share stories about our day to see if anything interesting or sad happened, and after a short chat, we end the conversation. Though brief, the call makes me feel better after the long day. Around 8 p.m., I make tea and get back to my business. I review if there's anything that needs improvement, assign tasks to employees, and ask if anyone needs help. Honestly, it's a bit stressful because I have to think through everything myself, and I end up working late to sort out today's tasks and plan for tomorrow. After everything's done, it's almost 11 p.m. I take a book and start reading to expand my thinking and find new directions for myself. I especially read at night because I avoid using my phone before bed. I've maintained this habit for 5 years now, and I find it very beneficial. Night by midnight, I start feeling sleepy. I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, wash my face, and change into pajamas. I check that the door is locked and the lights are off, and I set the alarm for tomorrow. Then I get into bed, pull the blanket over me, feeling the warmth and comfort after a tiring day. This is the most relaxing time of the day, when everything is done, and I'm exhausted, just wanting a long night of sleep. As I lie down, I reflect on the day, thinking about what I accomplished, living by the mindset: today is the last day, don't miss anything. Before I sleep, I always ask myself, if there were no tomorrow, would I have done all these things today? Fortunately, the answer is yes. If you ask me what would happen if the answer was no, it's simple. Tomorrow, do the things you feel you missed today and make them your top priority. That's how you know what's most important, and you can work on it in order of priority. Trust me, it really works. And that's the end of my day. Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to TalkEdge, where English becomes a part of your day. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, share, and leave us a review. Your English journey is just getting started, and we'll be right here with you. Until next time, keep listening, keep speaking, and keep pushing your edge.